a peace sign. 2 peace signs. I wore my pants backwards.
Yeah, we'll get the start.
There we go. Good for now. Hello, I'm back. I have a lot to tell you and have some notes here, but it's been a long, almost 2 weeks. It's been a whirlwind. I keep telling Mr. Allen that it's an adventure. We're having an adventure. But he says it's more like a nightmare. I told his surgeon that, and he said, he laughed and said, well, just keep telling him it's an adventure. So I am. We're just getting started with this adventure. Yesterday, I wore my pants backward all day, and I didn't even care. I realized that they were backward about midday through, and I didn't care. I didn't turn them around. I just left them. They were fine. Considering everything that's going on with Mr. Allen, we're maintaining. I'm not sure that I could say we're thriving, but we're maintaining right now. And so let me start from the beginning. Mr. Allen said that he had a thorn in his hand, and it was deep in there, and he'd had it for quite a while, but it was irritating him now. And I told him, you need to go to the doctor, and he said no. He had already told me that he would not ever go to a doctor again after he had the little skin thing before, and he disliked that so much he said he was never going to go to a doctor again. So I kept telling him, you need to go to a doctor. Finally, the day before Memorial Day, I said, I am dragging your butt to the walk-in clinic tomorrow. Don't go to work tomorrow, because I'm taking you right to the walk-in clinic, see what's wrong with your hand. Well, his fingers were numb, and he couldn't make a peace sign. And, you know, that's his signature hand gesture. So that was important that he be able to make a peace sign. Monday morning, Memorial Day, when I woke up, I don't sleep well, but when I woke up, he was gone. So I called him on his phone and said, what are you doing? He said, I'm working. I said, you come home. I'm going to take you to the doctor. I'm taking you to the doctor, so come home. He says, yeah, we're only working half a day anyway, so I'm going to leave earlier than that. I'll be there shortly. Okay, so he came back. He took a shower, he shaved, he got ready. We went to the walk-in clinic. He wasn't in there long when the doctor came out and got me and said, took me to the back, and she said, his hand problem is not from a thorn or a splinter or anything. He's having the symptoms of a stroke or something more, or or something else. Something doesn't have to do with his hand. She said, you need to take him to the emergency room. Tell me which emergency room you're going to, and I will call ahead and tell him you're on your way. So we left there right away, went to the emergency room, and they did tests. I'm not sure what exactly, x-rays. I'm not sure exactly what tests they did. Then there was a televisit. They brought in basically a computer and, a television screen, whatever. And it was another doctor on there, and she asked him to do some things. He couldn't do this. This hand wouldn't turn. They concluded that televisit, And then shortly afterward, the doctor came in, and the doctor who was there in the emergency room came in and said, "There's something over here on your brain. There's something in there that's causing your hand to be numb." And he didn't realize that he couldn't do that, until the doctor asked him to do it. So he said, "You need to be at the University of Miami, and we're calling an ambulance to take you over there." Within 2 hours of being at work that day, Memorial Day, the ambulance was on his way to pick him up and take him to the University of Miami, which is over 100 miles from where we live. So, and I didn't want him to see me cry because I didn't want to get him upset. So that was heartbreaking to see them put him in the ambulance. It was the Brewster ambulance. So his sister came to the emergency room while we were there. So thankful for her. I love her so much. And so she helped me figure out he was going in the ambulance and I was going home to pack a few things and then drive over to the hospital the next morning. So I did that. Did laundry, whatever. Packed bags that I don't even know. The whole thing was very unexpected. And I don't know how you can prepare for something like this. So I got to the hospital the next day in Miami, and they scheduled surgery for the next day. And that lasted about 4 hours. He came out of the surgery, was in ICU. I'm still trying to get the days straight in my mind, but yes, they did the surgery on Wednesday to take the growth out of his head. He has a scar from here all the way down to here. So, and it's healing fine. And he came out of the surgery just like his old self and hadn't forgotten anything. He was completely coherent. He knew everything that was going on, and he was good. He was in good spirits. He was joking about the doctor singing in the operating room. I don't know which doctor it was, but apparently another person said, "The patient doesn't want to hear you singing." And he said, when she said that, Mr. Allen said, "Thank you." And he was telling me about that right away, right after the surgery. So that was good. I was so happy to see that he had everything together. So that was good. That's the highlight, I think, of this whole thing. So he came out of the surgery and they discharged him the next day. And the doctor told me right after the surgery, he said, "You can probably go home tomorrow." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yes." So anyway, we came back home exhausted. I was not in any shape or mood to do the zhuzhing that I planned to do, and I'm still not, and it's still very emotional, very raw. But he's doing well. The motion in his hand has come back. The good news is that Mr. Allen, after the surgery, took a few days, but he's able to do a peace sign with that hand. So that's a relief. That's wonderful. He exercised his hand, and now he's able to do a peace sign with both hands. So wonderful. And he's walking. He walked with a walker for the first couple of days. There was the first day or two, I was so worried because he didn't want to eat anything. Didn't want to eat at all. And I sat up at night just praying that he would get his appetite back. And he never was a huge eater, but it was very concerning that he didn't want to eat anything. And they gave him like 5 different medications. The one pain medication he didn't want to take, he's just taking Tylenol. And they said that was okay. So since we've been back home, we had to wait for the pathology report. So it turns out that the thing in his head was metastasized from somewhere else in his body. So that's not good. And so he has tests scheduled. We're going back to Miami again for 2 appointments, and they're going to do radiation on the spot where they removed that thing. I'm not sure what words I'm allowed to say on YouTube, and I don't want to break the rules. Never want to break the rules, and we don't want to trigger people and upset people. But the thing that was in his head was not good, and like I said, it metastasized. It was from other areas of his body that metastasized to his brain. So, but he's doing good, considering, and he's in good spirits, and that's good. I couldn't stand him being cranky right now. I'm on my last nerve, you know. I got 1 nerve left, and I don't want anybody getting on it. So there are so many different doctors calling. Yesterday or the day before, he had an appointment which was on at telehealth, and that whole thing it was not right. We had to call the special people to help us get the telehealth thing, to get that all set up, and this is what he did. Most of the people call my phone because I take care of everything. If something gets done, if something needs done, I'm the one who does it. You know, ladies, you know what I mean. And his phone rang, and it was someone wanting to make an appointment for the next day. So this was yesterday morning. So for some reason, he thought that meant that the appointment that he already had was canceled, and they were doing it the next day. So we didn't do that appointment that he already had because he said it was canceled. Turns out it wasn't. That was a completely different doctor. Anyway, I'm going to have to reschedule that, but today we had a visit by the computer, and the camera didn't work on my new computer, so I don't know why. But we'll just have to do it on my other computer or on the phone for the next ones. We're gonna rest this weekend. So he's going to have a look. Uh-oh, I dropped. He's going to have we have to wait for them to schedule it, but he's having a PET CT to see where else the bad parts are in the rest of his body. The doctor is also going to do genetic testing, that he already has the samples that he can do, that they took out, or I don't know how they do it, but he's already got samples of what he needs to do the genetic testing, so that's good. And then we're getting set up with doctors here, so we don't have to go all the way to Miami for all the appointments, because there are going to be a lot of them. And then he'll have an MRI again after a month to see if if it's still growing or if anything's growing. I'm sharing this information with you because it was totally unexpected. Everything was great. Everything was fine. Like I said, Mr. Allen was working in the morning, and in the afternoon, he was on his way in an ambulance to Miami. It happened that quick. So, if this helps one person see some warning signs, it'll be worth sharing all of this with you. If you or someone has fingers, hands that have gone numb, or you're not able to use your hand or your leg or something, please go to your doctor, the walk-in clinic, whatever. There's a warning sign. So, if this helps one person, I hope and pray that it does. And I thank you for watching. I hope you'll stay with me with this. And hopefully we'll be able to do some zhuzhing on the things that I didn't get to yet. We also want to do some other things, and we don't know yet. It's still a lot up in the air. As I always say, don't forget to love yourself. Love ya.